Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome to day 4 of our 5-day challenge on how to transition from employee to entrepreneur and how to reinvent yourself. Welcome to day 4. Super excited to see you guys on here. And today we're going to be covering what gets in the way and what stops people from stepping into being an entrepreneur, and some techniques or tricks that will help you overcome it. Okay, so yesterday we talked about the qualities, characteristics, and habits of being an entrepreneur, and really being successful and stepping into that space of building your business. And the challenge was to identify what that looks like for you and what steps you get to take to shorten the gap of you reaching the goal that you want to reach. So again, that was yesterday's challenge. So if you haven't caught yesterday's challenge, be sure to go to day 3 and get caught up on that, and then come back to day 4. And so I hope these challenges are serving you, because my commitment is to help you by sharing tips, techniques, and things that will support you on your journey of reinventing yourself into that new space. So with that said, let's get started with today's topic. And like I said, we're going to cover what holds most people back from stepping into creating their business and how do you overcome that. So the number one thing that holds people back is, guess what it is? If you are live, you can comment below, and there might be a bit of a time lag here, but the number one thing, and if you said fear, that is true. Fear is definitely one of it. And truly the number one thing that stops people from creating their business is resistance. And what I mean by that is, having that feeling of resistance. And resistance comes in different forms. So it can be in the form of fear, self-doubt, procrastination, which is procrastination is a big one for a lot of people. Also comes in the space of not being good enough or not feeling that you're good enough. Fear, like, fear of failure, fear of success, all those conversations. And so all these conversations in stories that we tell ourselves are essentially resistance. If you look deep down, it's a resistance. So it's like you're in point A and you want to go to point B, and then you have like this resistance. There's a gap, obviously, right? And there's resistance of you taking action to get from point A to point B. You get what I'm saying? And so that's resistance. So you want to really, really connect with that. There's a great book that talks about resistance in detail, and I've read this book 5 times and I'm rereading it again. The book is called The War of Art by Steven Pressfield. I will type it in the comments below so you guys can have the book. If you have not read that book, definitely highly recommend that you read it, because it really goes into depth. Steven is brilliant, by the way. Steven Pressfield is brilliant, and he covers the different forms of resistance and what those different resistances look like and how it shows up for people. So if you're really interested to connect with what resistance looks like, definitely read his book. Again, Steven Pressfield, War of Art, such an amazing book. It's a quick read. It's like a 2.5-hour book on Amazon, not on Amazon, sorry, Audible. If you have Audible, it's like a 2.5-hour Audible listen. Okay, so definitely either read the book or listen to the book. It's amazing. Okay, and so here's something that will support you in overcoming your resistance. So the first thing is really being honest with yourself that you have resistance, because if you're in denial is a form of resistance. Ta-da! You're gonna be so screwed if you're in that space. So being honest with yourself, being authentic, being vulnerable, being connected, being intimate, like really getting connected with what that is, and also connecting with your vision and what you're truly committed to creating for your life and your business. So those are things that you get to connect with. And here's the deal. Reinventing yourself is not easy. that is a journey for a lot of people, and it's a process. So think of it this way: as you're building a business is a marathon. It's not a sprint. And if you're running a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a full marathon, there are different peoples at different stages of the race, right? So you have people who are way ahead of the race. There you have people all the way in the back of the race. Not right or wrong, good, bad, or any of that. It's an observation, right? Not everyone who's going to start quick will finish quick. Not everyone who's going to be all the way in the back will always be all the way in the back. People who are in the back could actually lead and be all the way in the front. And what differentiates a person who actually finishes strong versus a person who does not finish strong is truly their endurance. And what I mean by that is their physical endurance. Like, are they trained? Have they trained themselves to be successful in completing this race, right? And this marathon or this sprint or this 5K. So really connect with that, because building a business is no different. Building a business is exactly that. It's really you connecting with that race and that journey and pacing yourself. It's all about pacing yourself and really being clear on when you want to create it. Like, when do you really want to create that? So think of it this way. You are in the space of recruiting yourself. You are enrolling yourself in your business, which is your project, which is what you're committed to creating. And on top of that, you're aligning your vision, your values, your purpose, and your passion to be in direct alignment with the vision and the project of your business. So you're putting it all together, so you get to create that as one. So let me know, guys, what's resonating with you. I see a few of you on here. So if there's anything that's resonating, would love to see your comments below. If there's any, or if you have any questions about what I'm sharing with you here, as far as what stands in the way. And the other thing I want to say is, most people think that they want to do it alone, or they come from a space of being that lone ranger, like the lone wolf syndrome, right? And so if you're a lone wolf, you're a lone ranger, here's the thing. You will get to a result, and in order for you to get to massive results and catapult your results, you get to have team, and you get to have support, and you get to ask for support. And what stops people from asking for support is essentially their worthiness conversation. So they don't feel worthy of receiving. There's a block in receiving. And whether you want to admit that or not, that is actually the reality. Again, goes back to being honest and being vulnerable with yourself and looking at yourself in the mirror and being really honest, right? And so, and if you think you can do it alone, you could. I mean, not to say that you can't. Most people could. And the people who've gone the furthest in any endeavor that they've created, like think of Walt Disney, think of Steve Jobs, think of the Wright brothers as examples. Like, all these guys, they had a vision. They were so committed. They enrolled a team, and they manifested their vision. And that could be you. Right? And so my invitation to you is to really connect with what your vision is and really connect with what that resistance is for you, so you actually get to have a breakthrough in that resistance and in that fear. So here's my challenge for you. So my challenge is you get to really connect with and identify what your resistance is. So what is that? Is that procrastination? Is it fear? And what kind of fear? What's really holding you back? So I want you to ask yourself, what's truly holding me back from creating what I want to create? And I want you to really journal about that. Journal about what that is and tell that story. Be vivid about that story. Get it out of your head. Connect with your heart. And I also want you to ask yourself, what is the one thing that you can create, or the one thing you can do, or the one person you can connect with to be vulnerable and share that story with you and share your vision. So that's your stretch about creating your business. And remember this, Every master was once a disaster, okay? I was a disaster. I still am a disaster in process. So it's never perfect. It's always improvement and growth. So you've got this and you're going to do great. And if you want to go deep in anything that we've talked about, I invite you to comment below. I also invite you to share what your biggest takeaway is. And for the first 2 people that will comment below with hashtag employee to entrepreneur, what I will do is I'll reach out to you and support you with creating a plan for your business and your vision. All right. Thank you guys. See you tomorrow for day 5, our final day. And let me know if you have any questions. Bye for now.